What's going on, y'all? AllStar Izzy in the building. Let me go ahead and bring you up to speed with this topic because if you're not sure, this is a very popular trending topic right now. And I'm gonna give my perspectives on certain aspects of what you can learn from situations like this. It's unfortunate that has become public, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Is that Halle Bailey put DDG on a restraining order, claiming that he was aggressive and beating on her and everything. He reacted to a live stream when he seen the TMZ post, correct? Now, I'm not here to talk about who's right. I'm not here to talk about I'm on this side, that side. I'm on the side of truth and giving out these gems to the people that's willing to listen and want to evolve their perspective. We do not promote men that put their hands on women. That's weak ass shit. We do not promote women who are manipulative and try to shine the light away of a man's career. There's a lot of aspects in this, but we're gonna keep it simple and we're gonna take out these lessons. And you already wrote this down, but I did some research and I was looking at when they had their relationship to their baby to when they broke up. So they got into a public relationship, or they made it public at least, because I'm not too sure when they really started. We never know what happens behind closed doors. 2022, they had their kid in 2023, and then 2024 in October is when they split. Even off of looking at timeline, that is way too soon. Because there's an importance on, you gotta understand, bringing a child in this world is incredible. Now, I don't have any kids myself, but at the same time, what I know is that who you have it with is very crucial. There's a lot of men and women that regret having a kid with the other person. They love the kid, but it's the other person they regret having it with. It shows down in the timeline why they do, and they don't even know who the person is. So we're gonna go into number one of what I talk about in this thing is that vet women properly, because somewhere, somehow down the line, something occurred. Things like this just don't happen. And there was occurrences in the beginning, because one thing that I emphasize a lot is how you start is also how you finish. When there comes claims of aggression, arguments, I've been seeing people like Baby Rich Deshay, other people that said things for DDG on his side, saying that Halle Bailey was aggressive, and everybody else that's talking about it. But the thing is that even if she was aggressive, he was aggressive. Here's the thing, you don't just stick around shit like this and claims don't come out if there wasn't anything that happened in the beginning, right? So let's just say for the fact that she was lying about this thing. The thing even too is that you gotta be able to vet a woman properly to know that things like this don't even happen, and she has to be under your leadership. This is why it's important for your leadership as a man and how it reflects. Obviously, if he put his fucking hands on her, then that's different. He deserves this public backlash and whatever's to come with that. Is as you're with a relationship with a woman and you want to have a kid, you got to see who this woman is. I say the 1 year rule, you can even extend it to 2 years for a woman being in your life before you even make her your girlfriend, because you want to know who this person is that's with you. You never truly know a person. You never want to go off of how you feel or how great the moments are or how great you guys understand and the compatibility and chemistry. Things take time as well. It's that slow burn and natural effect of the tango that we talk about often. Vetting women properly is extremely important, especially when you're a man of value. Consistently being on YouTube and consistently racking up millions of views, mad money. You got a foundation. You got a name that holds weight. You got people around you that you feed. You got folks around you that are inspired by you looking. They're inspired by the things that you say. They're inspired by your actions, and they're like, I want to be like you when I grow up, stuff like that. There's a lot of value that comes with you as a man that you have to understand that nobody and no woman can just come onto my ship and get an automatic thing out of me. Reaction, a baby, a relationship. No, things take time with me because I took time for this. That doesn't take away from anything else. Let go of the pedestalization of the lady, correct? Now, the next thing that I put is, what I just mentioned is having a kid with a woman is risky depending on how you lead it, because you got to understand that there's a lot of regret in a lot of parents' lives, not with the kid, but the person that they're talking to. Having a kid with somebody is a beautiful experience, but at the same time, who are you wanting to have it with? You don't need to have this super ideal dream guy, dream woman. You don't need none of that. What you need is a concrete foundation of this. You know what? There could be a possibility that we may split in a couple of years, but as long as I know that you're going to be there for my kid, then that's fine with me, because this is what the woman I'm choosing. You have to put yourself in that perspective of, I'm choosing this woman to have my kid, because I also seen there was co-parenting issues. There was things where he couldn't see his son. It was just a lot of instances that's going on. But number three, you can make women happy and keep it peaceful all you want, but when will you put your foot down? Now, there's this video that we're going to be looking at shortly. It's about DDG talking about how he keeps her image golden. He protects it because he's real, which I understand. You want to protect that because that is the mother of your children and X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, this is also goes to another point of always trying to keep women happy and keeping the peace rather than you voicing yourself and putting your foot down, thinking that you don't have power. having to get into their knees constantly. Now, I wanted to only point this out because I know there's a lot of men who have been abused, who get verbally abused and all this type of abuse because they try to keep it peaceful for their lady rather than knowing that their peace is one of a dime in themselves as a man. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this video really quickly.
She got this fucking golden image that I've also protected, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'ma keep doing that because I'm a real nigga. But this shit is foul, bro.
There's no image that's worth protecting if there's a lot of bullshit that's going on behind the scenes. Now, I understand there could be legal obligations and business things. And another thing that just came to my mind that I didn't even write down, but it was the thing of also stop thinking that women who look innocent are innocent. I've known and I've seen plenty of women that have done treacherous things that look innocent, that they look like they're the great type, the cute type, the pure type, but they also do some nasty ass shit. I also heard that she cheated on him too. Not sure how that is. Again, we're not really getting into the basics of that, but at the same time, I also want you to know there's another side to a lot of these innocent women. It doesn't even have to be this aggression or whatever the case is, but it can be some other sweet little lies that they be having going on because they know that I can use my image and how I come off as an effect to manipulate, correct? And that can go from both parties too. Just understand that there's always more than meets the eye. And number 4 that I'm gonna give to y'all is stop pedestalizing beauty, pussy, good time with her, and 99% of your problems will be amazing. And the reason why I say that is because when you rush too fast into a relationship, this can happen. Things can trickle down, not even in your favor, where you don't even know who the person is around you, or you don't know why they're operating in a certain way that you're operating. Because I know a lot of men that are inclined to be people to please the woman rather than pleasing himself first, correct? When not even in the aspect of sex, but in the aspect of her needs before his needs and shit like that. But the thing is that I noticed with a lot of men, they pedestalize women for how they look in the good times of how they feel with her, that they expedite the motherfucking process, that they get into a relationship, they have a kid, they get into these situations where they're like, oh, this is the one, we calling on the phone, we doing the, she got my back, and then later down the line, she crossed me. The reason why she crosses you is because, well, firstly, you got into a relationship way too fast, and that shows that you're green, and it shows that you're naive to an extent of things that can happen, right? And another thing that I put is, women will manipulate weak men, as I stated before, but when women don't get their way, they'll throw tantrums and encase in this way. Now, again, we don't know who the fuck did what, because that's up to God and whoever really truly knows. But what we're talking about right now when I say this is that there has been plenty of instances where women will throw tantrums, but they can do it in a public way. Women will do certain things, but they can extort you publicly. Women will say things, lie on your name, lie on your dick, lie on what you did for things that happen, right? We can talk about how women are evil. We can talk about how women are so manipulative, but what it really comes down to is that it is always the man's fault in this situation. And the reason is because you have this golden perspective and invitation of inviting anyone into your life. This is the choice men have, is saying you can come into my life. Once you allow something to come into your life and you allow certain situations and problems and small arguments, because you probably think that arguing is the best way to create a relationship, there's some way down the line shit will happen. So you cannot get surprised when someone publicly bashes you, when someone lies on your name, when someone says things and create crazy stories to try to get a reaction out of you, when she tries to lie to see something out of you. You can't get upset about certain things like that. When you feel a little bit confused and lost because of that, you have to understand and look at yourself and why did I invite this type of energy? Where were my blind spots in this situation? Because I don't want any man that's listening to this to be in a situation where it comes down to this. Because again, we don't promote men putting their hands on women. We don't promote women that manipulate weak men, but this is the truth and what happens to the situation like this. I want you guys to understand that when you're with a woman, do not give her that free access to your platform, to your money, to your foundation, to your fans, to your friends, to your family, to your lifestyle until she earns her way into there, or until you see who this woman is. You gotta see her character. You gotta see how does she interact. What are the small little things? And I'm not saying don't try to look for the negative, but at the same time, keep your eyes open. Men are extremely valuable into this world. And there's women who will work the room, but she will work you in the room if you allow her to work the room. Women do not manipulate men with strength. They are in love by them, but they know they cannot fuck with a motherfucker who has strength. They only fuck with people who do not really have strength in that light. So these are some lessons that I want you guys to take from this situation and to learn down the line as you bring women into your life. That doesn't take away from you can fuck around, you can do whatever, friends, benefits, all that. But when it comes to wanting to take a woman seriously and vet her, this is a process. This is nothing to be rushed, all right? These are some gems to give it out. This is an AllStar approved message.